Hey everyone, I'm Beth Ann from BrilliantBusinessMoms.com, and I'm going to show you a cool feature within Facebook Insights for your business page. So if you listen to Crystal Paine's podcast interview with us, and that's episode 52, you can find all the notes related to that one at BrilliantBusinessMoms.com/52. And she shared about some of the strategies she's using on Facebook to increase her engagement and grow her presence there. Okay, so I'm going to show you within Facebook Insights the feature where you can watch certain pages and what that can do for you and your Facebook page. So I'm on my business Facebook page, and then I'll click on Insights. Okay, and at the top, it'll tell me, stats on my page, what my total reach has been, my engagement, things like that, which is really important. You come down here and you can see which of your posts that you've put on your page have had the most reach. And here's organic versus paid. We did try to boost that post. But here you can see this particular post had a pretty good organic reach, as did this one. And real quick before I dive into pages to watch, let me tell you a few things about this related to Crystal's advice. So this post was actually one we had shared from Crystal's page, which her Facebook page is MoneySavingMom. And so she had posted this, which was like funny little photo captions on parenting. And so I thought, Brilliant Business Moms, it still applied to my audience because it was just something funny and entertaining that people might enjoy. So this post had gotten a lot of engagement on Crystal's page. So I went ahead and shared it right from her page to my audience. And as you can tell, Facebook really gives you benefit for sharing a post that was already popular on someone else's page, and for sharing a post from a page that they view as very engaged, that's doing really well. It's like they give you extra bonus points and then kind of show your post to more people because of that. So I was able to reach 844 people without paying anything for that. So that's pretty good for, our little page that only has 515 likes at this point. Okay, so the top one means post clicks, and the bottom one is likes, comments, and shares. So like on this one, we had 67 people click the post and 10 who either liked, commented, or shared. And then another thing here is this one was us. We uploaded this image of Crystal and talked about her episode. But again, I think the reason why this got a higher reach than a lot of our posts do is because we tagged Crystal in this. We tagged her Facebook page in this post. Like I said, at MoneySavingMom, and I can show you that in a sec. But again, we got 100 clicks on that post, which is really, really great for us. So, okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. And I'll show you down here how that whole notion of sharing really popular posts from other pages that are doing well, how to make that work and how to do that well. Okay, so when you scroll down, you'll see this feature, pages to watch. And I will tell you, I've had some people tell me that they don't know how to use this. They haven't been able to get this to work. And I will say that Facebook can be really finicky sometimes. Some of their tools don't always work that well. So I know you need to have at least 100 likes on your page to have that pages to watch feature. But once you do have 100 likes, you should be able to take advantage of this. But what I will say is, Facebook actually let me know about this feature a few months ago, and they said you need to add 5 or more pages. So I quickly added some pages. And in retrospect, I wish I would have added more business-focused pages that more applied to our audience, but I just added pages that I could think of off the top of my head. Like this one is a fellow podcaster, and then Abby, my sister-in-law, and then 2 other, really popular Facebook pages that I knew about. But like if I want to add a new page, like Jamie Tardy, Eventual Millionaire, is a great business Facebook page, and she's been getting some great engagement considering she's a real new page. Theoretically, you're supposed to be able to just type that in up here and search, and Facebook should show that to you. But guys, I have been working on this all morning and I cannot figure out how to add new pages. Somehow Facebook let me add these pages at the beginning, and it will let me delete a page, because I tried this earlier today. I deleted a page I was watching and then tried to go back in and add that page again, and it wouldn't let me. So if you're having trouble with this, I'm so sorry. But what I will show you is, if you are able to add the pages, I'm going to show you what you can do with them after you've added them, okay? And I'm going to continue to research this. If I find a solution for you guys, I will certainly let you know, because I'm pretty frustrated too. I think I'm supposed to be able to add like 100 pages to watch, theoretically. So I really would like to add some more pages here, and Facebook, it just seems like this, I mean, it doesn't matter. I've tried a ton of different ones to type in, and none of them were working. So there seems to be a glitch there for the moment. Let's hope it's maybe just an error that's going on this week, and maybe it will be fixed soon. Okay, but if you do have your pages to watch set up, for example, I can go in here and just click Money Saving Mom, and it will tell me the top posts from Money Saving Mom. So when you're looking at a post that you want to share from someone else's Facebook page, Facebook just made it so easy for you. You don't have to go over to their page, look at all their posts, kind of like tally up the stats on the shares and likes and comments. Go right here and it will show you the top posts. Okay, so that one's kind of a funny one, and I can go down. And obviously the thing for us is, you know, not all of these are going to apply to our audience. Our audience doesn't really come to us to get housekeeping advice or recipes. They come to us for business advice for the most part. But I do think a lot of these, the cute quotes or the funny things about motherhood definitely are still, could be of benefit to our audience. So for example, if I like this post where she says, I'm going to bed, what really happens is the wife picks up the toys, does all these other things, and then finally goes to bed like 5 hours later, and the husband, when he says he's going to bed, he goes to bed. So that's kind of funny and cute. So, and it, I mean, you can see right down here, it'll show you the stats. So how many people like that post, how many shares. I mean, this post had thousands of shares, which is pretty crazy. So if I want to share this on my own page, it's so easy. I just click share right from here. And then I can click up here that I want to show it on a page that I manage. And I will do Brilliant Business Moms, okay? And then I can write whatever I want to write and share it. Okay? The only thing that bums me out is I wish Facebook had a way to schedule out your shares. You can schedule out your regular posts, but here there's no little clock for me to say, it's like I have to share it right now, which I'll go ahead and do. I mean, it's not a big deal, but that's kind of a bummer. That's a feature I hope that Facebook brings back, or adds in, I should say. Okay, so at any rate, that will show you for each of these, you can click and do the same thing, and you can also see, you know, how many new page likes are they getting, posts this week. And you can see Money Saving Mom, Crystal Paine, she did tell us she posts a lot. She posts every hour to Facebook. So you can see from here 128 posts that she did this week. But it's paying off for her because her engagement is enormous. I mean, you compare that to someone else, Ruth Sukup, who also has a lot of Facebook likes, you know, 505,000 compared to Crystal's 700 some, but her engagement is much lower. And I'm guessing a lot of that is because she's not posting quite as often to her page. Now, Ruth is the Pinterest queen, though, so if I would go on Pinterest, I'm sure she would be doing everything right on Pinterest. And I will say sometimes it's a little bit discouraging if you come here and you'll see, like, look at her engagement, hundreds of thousands. Abby had, you know, a couple hundred, and then we're down here and it says only 39. Which seems like a total bummer. But if you look at like page likes in relation to the percent of total likes we have, we're at 3%. These other guys are only at 1%, 0.4%. So you can see how if we continue this trend, we'll be doing really well. And as you do get bigger and bigger, you know, Facebook starts suggesting you to other people for them to like you and things like that. So it really is this snowball effect. So don't get discouraged. Just keep going, okay? Okay, so that's one. That's how you would go in if it will let you add pages and kind of see their best posts and then share right from there. And then I'm going to show you one other trick that Crystal taught us. Okay, so what I've been hearing from the Facebook marketing gurus is that you should be doing a native link on Facebook, which looks like this. So I would do brilliantbusinessmoms.com/52, shift enter, and then it'll fill it in like this. And then from there, I can actually delete this. I don't need to keep the link in there, and I can just say great advice from Crystal Paine or whatever I want to do. Facebook gurus have been saying for a while that you should do a link like this, because when you do it this way and this shows up in people's news feed, they don't have to click on that link above in your description. They can click right on your photo, and instead of that taking them to your page's photo gallery, it will take them right to your blog post. So apparently it's supposed to be really helpful for you to get more traffic to your site, and I could see that happening. And the cool thing here is, like, I can click an upload image and then choose an image where the dimensions are a better fit for Facebook, which theirs is like 1200 by 627 is a suggested image for Facebook. So I know this one's obviously not related, but let me take like this wider photo and see what happens. And you know, the best strategy is really to go, see, it fits much better. Obviously these don't go together, but that's just an example of where if you do that 1200 by 627 pixels and then change it right here, it'll look really nice within Facebook. So that's one strategy. If you just create one wide photo from your blog post, which I have to say I was doing for a while, but it does get a bit time consuming. So that's one idea. But Crystal was actually saying that for her, she noticed much better engagement in that her posts were shown to more people when she would simply do this. She might say the same thing, like, or I had one where I said, I want to say a must listen episode. And she said she'll do like a short one-liner kind of title in all caps. So I thought that was interesting, the all caps. And then she would do her link. And then from there, she would upload photos. And Crystal has noticed for her that uploading multiple photos has been a better strategy. Let me go in here, hit the control. I can pick this one, this cute one. Okay, and then let's go. And then it will put all three of those photos within the same post on Facebook. And once they load, whoops, I think it only grabbed two. Let me grab the other one. Once they load, you can switch the order. So I can say I want that one to be first, and that first photo will generally be the one that's featured, that's larger on your post. And then from here, I can, on your own posts, you can schedule them out versus sharing somebody else's post. So from here, I could choose to schedule it for, you know, tomorrow at whatever time I want and schedule, and then Facebook will automatically send it out. And unlike other scheduling apps, Facebook is totally fine with you using their scheduler, and they won't penalize you in terms of how many people they show it to in the newsfeed. Because I have heard that for most social media platforms, if you use an outside party scheduler, they might penalize you a little bit. They might not show your post to quite as many people. Okay, so that's how that would look. And Crystal said for her, this has actually been working much better than those native links, even though all the gurus seem to be recommending the native links. But I could see for her too, where she has so many step-by-step or tip type of posts. And so having the multiple pictures where people can kind of see how it's going to walk you through the process would be super helpful. So it might not be quite as helpful for us, where we don't have quite as many step-by-steps, although occasionally we do, so we'll have to test it out. And let me just scroll down and I'll show you an example of how the finished product looked when I did a multiple photo post. Okay, so here I did the 4 photos. I think the 3 photos would actually be better for us in the way it the way it would show up, because I think it would make this photo a bit bigger and then 2 smaller at the bottom. But at any rate, so it's kind of fun. It gives you a lot more personality than just seeing that one photo. You're kind of getting this collage of photos and getting more of an inside glimpse into that person that we interviewed. So that's something you can try. And let me show you one more thing that I thought was really interesting. Crystal had also shared about, I do want to leave that page. I'm not going to leave that up. She shared about posting around the clock on Facebook, and she talked about how her theory is that posts that you post at night, really late at night or the middle of the night, can tend to do much better and have a larger reach and larger engagement because you're not competing with as many other posts at those times. So Facebook shows that post to more people. And then therefore, when more people see it, there's more chance for engagement. And then, of course, as that chain continues, Facebook continues to feed out your posts to more and more people. And I thought that was interesting because if you look at this one post that we had, this one I did post, I want to say it was 12:46 a.m. I posted, versus this one on the same topic, still talking about, Crystal from Money Saving Mom, tagged her in both of these posts, but this one was at 4:43 in the afternoon. So compare these two. Both had tagged her. Now this one had multiple photos, so that might have been one reason why it did better. And this one, okay, you're saying, well, this one did better, but actually it didn't, because I paid for some of that reach. So it really didn't do that well on its own. But this one, 100 clicks, that's awesome. That's really good for a small page like ours. And the organic reach of 376, that's really good for us. And I think part of it was the time of day that I posted it. I posted it at 12:30 a.m. Okay, and then there's one last thing I want to show you about your Facebook Insights, which I found really helpful. Is if you go over here, so I went to Insights and to Posts, which I found it weird that they put this under Posts, but at any rate, that's where it is. I've hunted for it multiple times and I always forget that this is under Posts. It will tell you when your fans are online. So really cool. I can come down here and see. For one thing, it'll tell me day of the week. So I have 502 of our fans of our 515, which is pretty good, are online on Sunday. So for the most part, most of our fans are online every day or on Facebook every day, which is pretty cool. I have to say there's some days when I'm not on Facebook, so I'm pretty impressed with that. And then from here, you can see, at midnight, we've got 149 of our fans that are on. It dips way down at 4 a.m. So one thing to remember, though, and I looked this up, is that these times are in Pacific Standard Time. So it's really, really important for those of us on the East Coast. But one thing I found interesting is that the drop-off for midnight Pacific is not really all that bad. There's still 149 of our fans that are on, as opposed to the 200 some on in the middle of the day. Okay, midnight Pacific would be 3 a.m. Eastern time. And so even at 3 a.m. Eastern time, I'm still going to have, over 100 of our fans that are online. And at 3 a.m. Eastern, I am not competing with very many other Facebook posts that are happening at that time. So that is a great strategy to employ. I think for this next week, I'm going to try scheduling some posts out, scheduling them for 3 a.m. and see what happens. And I think this also shows you why the post that we did that was, 12:45 a.m. that did really well, that's only 9:45 p.m. Pacific, and if you can see, we have almost 300 of our fans who are still online at that time. So we're not competing with nearly as many posts, and we still have a lot of our fans that Facebook can dole out our posts to in the news feed. So, because certainly, you could, if you scheduled your post for, let's see, 4 a.m. Pacific, so that's 7 a.m. Eastern, yes, you might have low competition, but we have hardly any fans online at that time. So that's not a good strategy for us. So for us, I'm going to start doing more at midnight and more at 3 a.m. to see what happens with that. And then again, I really shouldn't post those early in the morning post Eastern time. I need to be posting, so like a 11 a.m. Pacific is, that's all the way 2 in the afternoon Eastern, which would make sense too. Moms who just put their kids down for a nap might be checking out Facebook. So at any rate, that was just another tip that I thought was really useful as you try to figure out when the best times are for you to post. Okay, guys, I hope that was really helpful. Hopefully you will maybe tweak a few things on your Facebook strategy as a result. And thank you so much to Crystal Paine for sharing all of her incredible Facebook strategies with us on the podcast. And now it's your turn to head out there and be brilliant.